Yo, what up? What up, John? What's cracking, John? Huh? It's weird. Has a new layout. Strange. Okay. The StreamYard has a new layout. Just kind of freaked me out, but it's all good. How we doing? Call-ins are live. We'll see who jumps in. There's gonna be a quick one, maybe about an hour or so. Nothing crazy. What's up, Alan Day? Alan Day all day. What's cracking? How we doing? How are we doing? Let's see who jumps in. I know it's a 4th of July joint. Not sure how dope it will be, but let's give it a try. Did the alert go out? Let's see. It did not. Let's see if I do another alert. Sometimes this bitch ass shit alerts people. Let's see. Boxing. I gotta schedule it for half an hour from now. So 1:45. Let's see if that works. And you know it works sometimes too? When I go live on my YouTube, which almost never works. You don't find it funny they get you mean like Jake Paul did it on purpose? Is that what you think? You think Jake Paul might have did it on purpose? I don't know. And then didn't didn't Jake Paul post a picture of just an American flag? That's kind of fucked up. Like you want the dude to get arrested? Like he didn't. I don't know. That's kind of fucked up. If he did that, that's fucked up. I'm not so sure he did that, but if he did, that's fucked up. That ain't cool. Ain't cool at all. We'll see though. I don't know if this shit is. Yeah, it's fishy. It's fishier than a can of tuna. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna end this shit. How do I end this? And all right. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know the whole ice shit. I don't really pay attention to all that. But what's up, Mo? Well, let's see what Mo got here. Let's see what our resident scholar, Mo Briggity Brains, got for us here. How do I share? Here we go. Share screen. X. All right. Canelo is next. Well, Mo, just because he says it does not mean he meant it. I know Alberto has Alberto hasn't been around. He didn't come around yesterday. Maybe he's sick. Maybe he got evicted. He was needed that money for rent. Remember? Remember that? Who knows? Who knows? With poor Alberto. Who knows? Maybe he needed that money for rent. What's up, people? What do we got planned for today? I'm going to a pool barbecue thing in a few hours. I want to get the live in with you guys. I want to get my workout in. Then I'll be ready. If I don't get my workout in up here, no good. Especially under the stress I'm going through lately. Oh, he was in Johnny's chat? Bitch ass motherfucker. Yeah, he was super eager. But you know what that means, though, Clarissa? You know who else cams up if he cams up? You. That's what you said. That's what you said. Um, Yeah, Alberta loves Johnny. Why do you think Alberta likes Johnny's chat more than this one? Maybe because Johnny never tells him the truth about himself, about when Alberto says like rude shit. Johnny never calls him out, maybe, or maybe he's just not rude there. I know, right? I know. Well, we all know you're a woman. The way you handled Attorney Bailey, signed, sealed, stamped, and delivered that you're a female. I know. I still think he'll do some shit like he's. I really do. I think he'll do some shit like this. Like, okay, I'm cammed up. Show your face. Like he'll do something like that. We'll be like, wait, what? He'll try and work the. He'll try and work the. What's it called? The loopholes. Ain't that something? Ain't that a bitch? All right, where's everybody at? I guess the holiday, right? I was just at Ness's show. It was relatively. I mean, for him, I guess slow. 600. Man, do you know how happy I would be if I could go on here with you guys, have like 600 of you, 1,000 of you every day, make a living and like doing the shit I love. See, I envy Ness. I envy Blue Blood, Showbiz. Um, who else you think makes like a real living on this? Like what other like I don't. I make on this, and mine is all because don't forget I do really well with my videos. I make maybe 1/3 of what I need to make to actually make a living, like support my family on this. Now, I make about 1/3. What people do you think make a full living on this besides Ness, Blue Blood, Showbiz? I don't even know. Anybody who has more than 5 people in their chat when they stream is in the top 1% streaming. Yeah, is that true? Is that a fact? If you had 800 a day, the channel would be totally different for us regulars. How so? How so? I guess so. What you're saying, Mo, is I'm doing a really good job so far? Because really, I've only been doing it like this, like 3-4 months, where I'm doing it every day. I got the background. Remember, before I was on my couch, it would be like once a night. It was a little different. I need the encouragement because when it breaks, when it pops, when it bubbles, um, it'll be one thing and I'll remember these times. But right now, I'm only stuck in these times. You know? Yeah, it is tough. It's a tough thing, especially in a lane like boxing, which we all love it, right? But it's a niche. It's a niche fucking thing. Communication between you and us would be the same. Wouldn't be the same. Nah. Well, yeah, you guys would have to, I guess, super chat more. But I would remember you guys, like all you guys. I would remember, like I would pay attention to and prioritize. You also have to think about rewatch value. Yeah. Nest makes TBV accessible and re-listenable. I can download past TBV shows on the YouTube podcast app, for instance. Oh, okay. I didn't know there was a YouTube podcast app. I mean, I don't. Why would I need to do that? Can't you just? You can go in and check any of my shows, right? You can just go back into my vault. That's why I prefer a channel over your. That's why I prefer a channel over others. Communicate with us. Johnny doesn't read the chats much unless you super chat. Uh, well, yeah, and Johnny's more of a, I believe, more of a like an interview kind of guy, right? He likes interviewing people. That was my shit at first too, but not really anymore. Like I do them, but you know, you guys know the deal. It's like I'm not. about to go chasing dudes like a fucking groupie just to get an interview. I don't like it. And the big names I just can't get a hold of. Like, look, if I was in contact with the Canelo or Crawford direct, like, yeah, I met Crawford, but I don't have his number or anything. If I was in contact with them directly, okay, but I'm not. What I'd love to do is work for a company. Like, the Ring, fucking Top Rank, whoever would hire me, the Zone, where I don't have to go chasing people for shit. You know what I'm saying? The studio just says, all right, be at this place at this time. You're interviewing so-and-so. Get questions ready. Psst. Done. I would bury that shit. Look at the questions I wrote for Shaq. Best ones. Best ones. He fumbled on one of them, but that's okay. You can, but YouTube podcast app lets you listen to the background while you drive and stuff. Can't do that with YouTube. That's true. Well, you can. You just have to leave it running. So should I make these podcasts? Right. Community. And we have one here. Obviously, it's a fraction of the size of TBV. And the worst part is, worst but best, it's a blessing because it helps me, but worst because it also constrains me, is that a lot of the community here is from TBV, which means that a lot of you guys will prioritize TBV over me, which I get. I'm not trying to make you feel bad for it. I get it. But so that's kind of a blessing and a curse for me. You know what I mean? Like, Ness isn't live right now. Normally it'd be a lot more numbers, but obviously it's 4th of July, so different. Yeah. But that's my goal. I remember seeing Blue Blood do it. I used to go on Blue Blood show quite a bit before I started going TBV. Then I transitioned over. And man, that would be so dope. That's what my wife wants me to do. She'd prefer that I build up the streaming platform as opposed to get a job at like the Zone or whatever. I'd rather work at the Zone. She thinks it's better to do this because you're your own boss. 15 years, Clarissa. 15. You called in 10 years ago, but he's been doing it 15 years. Salute, Lightning. What's up? I know he's been doing 15 years because he always fucking says it. It's not your fault, Mark. You just have more outdated perception. That's like a comforting, supportive statement, but also a shitting on me statement. An outdated perception of content creation. Explain. You can even jump in the chat. Jump in the call. What do you mean outdated? What's outdated about it? Let's if I agree with you, which I probably will, let's update it then. I'm down to learn. Talk to me. What's up, David? I saw Ness shit on you when I was on the show about something. I forgot what you said. He got annoyed at you for saying something. Forgot what it was, though. There he is. Talk to me. Why am I an old, outdated man?
No, I don't mean that as a diss. I just mean that because of, your age and your generation, you consume media a different way than, like, for instance, my generation or Alberto's generation. So I'll give you an example. That what we just talked about, the way we consume it. Like, for instance, me, I listen to TBV a lot because I work a lot, and it's accessible to me. So it's like I can have it in my earpiece while I'm working with my hands.
No, you're right. I've tried to watch videos, and if you lock your phone, the video stops playing.
Exactly. So I'll give you an example. Listen to all the callers, all the regular callers in TBV that've been calling in for 10 years or whatever. What do they all have in common? They're all like truck drivers, warehouse workers, third shift workers.
Right.
So Ness has molded, he's found a niche audience. So I'll give you an example. Like for streaming, right? You don't have to get all the people. You just have to find the 600 of your people. And he found the 600 of his people. And they're they're the fucking, street dudes who fucking, they got their CDL, they drive a lot, they work a lot. So it's accessible to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, me, I don't fit into his demographic, but I love boxing, so I listen to TBV.
Yeah, you definitely seem like you'd be more my demographic than his.
Exactly. And there's the reason for that is because I'm a fucking boxing nerd and I like watching the old shit, and your
Hmm.
content, a lot of it is the old shit, you know. So I
Yeah,
can have those conversations in this space. Now there's
right.
some people in his community that have that overlap, like Low, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But see, look at how he talks to Low. He's like, "Oh, I need the boxing historian," and he calls
Hmm.
Low up like, "Hey, Low, call in or whatever. If I got a
Hmm.
question for you, whatever." But
Hmm.
that's not his main demographic, right?
No,
His
not at all.
demographic, his demographic is guys like Vega who fucking, they might not know, shit about fucking Eusebio Pedraza or whatever from the 1970s, but he knows about some obscure guy that fought yesterday in Romania or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Robert, I agree. When I do longer shows, it does help. I've noticed the longer I'll stay on, the more viewers I'll get. But like, I'm not at the position where I could do 4 hour shows just yet because, and this is what's weird. Like, I don't think it's worth like the time I spend. It's still not. I don't know, but maybe I need to do longer shows. Do you think that would help? Longer shows?
I mean, it definitely helps just because it's like basically you're casting a broader net. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But look at it also. It's like fucking Ness has, Ness, his kids are all big and shit. Same thing with
Hmm.
Johnny. Like yesterday, Johnny was on for like 6 hours. That dude was on until like 2, 3 in the
Yeah,
morning,
I
bro.
can't do it right, and that's a great point. I can't do that shit with my young children. I mean, I could look if I was making like if this was supporting our whole family, like my wife would just have to deal with it. Like I'll be on, you know what I'm saying? But it's not just yet, so it's a hard thing to like. Okay, you know what I mean? But I guess you got to invest in yourself, right?
Yeah, Tonan's in that Two Tone is in that same space where he kind of does, 1 or 2, 3 hour shows, and then he has to go be a dad and do
I
his
don't, yeah, and
normal
I don't
thing.
know if Tone's son lives with him full time though. I'm not sure. Mine do, obviously.
And even then, like, and he can have an opportunity. Like for instance, Tone, you have your time slots where you go on. Tone
Right.
will just fucking when he
Go on.
has the chance, he'll go on fucking any hours a day. You know what I mean? Like there's no set time where I'm like, oh, this is when Two Tone's gonna go live. He'll just go on.
Isn't it better to have set times? I feel like it is.
It definitely is and this is the part where I'm talking about how you consume media
Uh-huh.
is you want people to be able to know same bat time, same bat channel.
Right.
Like you want that. Like I'll give you another example. Have you heard of Coach Malachi?
Yeah, I know him
True
personally.
Media?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, dude, morning. It doesn't matter if there's a rainstorm in his area and the power is out. He's on
Uh-huh.
at three o'clock Eastern time every
Uh-huh.
single day. He's probably going to be on today, even if it's 20 minutes on the phone. He's just going to call. He's just going to go live and check in
Uh-huh.
with the people and say, "Oh, what's up, Mo Brains? Oh, what's going on, Marco? Whatever."
Uh-huh.
So there's that aspect. Also, the other aspect you got to understand, especially with the younger audience, is the community building part. So,
Mm.
like, I'll give you a perfect example. Look at the Spider Rico situation. And I don't mean to get depressing, but I mean like
Right.
look at what happened, and what happened. The news hit the community, and because that there's like a base of a community, they all like banded together and like made it a
Hmm.
thing. And now that they're dealing with that situation as a community, as opposed to, it's just Nest struggling with what happened and dealing with the news and stuff. You get
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
when TBV shuts off, I mean, I don't know, I forget who says that, but what that tagline is, but it's like when the show is over, the conversation continues in the
Mm.
Discord, in the callback chat. Because if
Mm.
you go into Ness's Discord, and that's just a TBV Discord, it's just a message board, but those
Hmm.
motherfuckers go on fucking morning, noon, and night talking about boxing. Like those motherfuckers don't
Wow.
quit.
Like he doesn't
It's
get
even
paid.
worse than that. No,
That's
no,
not a revenue stream. That's just for the people to talk.
I think I think certain streamers that are really big get like what are those things called, like promotional deals from like Discord and other messaging
Oh,
apps and
okay.
things like that, but I'm not 100% sure the business side of
So
that.
what Clarissa said here is true. My base likes real boxing, calm, TBV, and that's true. But the problem, not the problem, but the thing I've seen, tell me if you agree, is the majority of these popular channels is like heated, fucking dysfunctional, like people like that shit, and I don't do that. So Is that a problem?
I mean, I think that's certainly something that could make you popular, but like for instance, see these two entities for me, because they're the only two that I really consume on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
exist, and they're very contradictory, which is like there's TBV and then there's like True Media Podcast with Coach
Mm-hmm.
Malachi. His show is completely different. He allows everybody to call in and you don't have to pay to call in. You can go as long as the conversation needs it to go, and then if he thinks conversation is done, he'll cut you off. But
Mm-hmm.
if you call in talking to him the way some of these guys call and talk to Ness, he'll just be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, okay, well, I respect your opinion. Okay, thanks for the
Right. He
time."
does. So he never tries to shit on people.
Hardly never. No,
Okay.
he won't go into these endless, pointless debates and these yelling matches and all this
Mm-hmm.
shit. And he still gets like 500, 600 people because they jive with that. Like they would rather
Mm.
hear that
Okay.
real boxing talk. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm just saying because those are two examples, two really big examples that come
So
to
you think
mind that I
you think
consume.
I
So
should make this a podcast then? Like, because I always wonder what the fuck the podcast like section was on YouTube. I'm like, what's the difference? But I
what
guess.
you could do, both. Like nothing's stopping you from taking this live stream and also packaging it in a podcast form. At least I don't know, but I don't know. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know what it's like processing the files and all that shit on your side.
Yeah, I don't know
But
if I could like pipeline them both to like to have this automatically also be podcast, like not have to do two
I
separate.
yeah, I know that those two podcasts that I just mentioned do that, and that makes it easier for me to consume them. So that
Yeah.
even when you're not live, I'm thinking, oh, what did Alberto say? What does Alberto think about this? What does
Mm-hmm.
Marco think about this? I see the
Mm-hmm.
the podcast title. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna download this and I'm gonna listen to it while I'm at work or while I'm on the flight or whatever. And then I'll
Mm-hmm.
call in tomorrow and I'll let Marco know. Oh, I missed the show yesterday, but this is what I think about this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right, right. Yeah, one of the challenging things about this is also coming up with topics that aren't because boxing isn't like other sports. There's not an action-packed season. There's a lot of dead air in boxing. There's a lot of just regurgitated, recycled topics, and I don't want to bore people. You know what I mean? I want it. How do we stay excited about the same fucking topics?
You're right, and the way that I've noticed the media sphere handles that is which is kind of unsettling, but it's just to go super ultra TMZ tabloidish about it. Like yesterday, what happened? That whatever, like 1 minute of footage of Schofield and Mason was released or some shit, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody started talking about it. When it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, whatever.
Yeah, I just downloaded that. You know what's annoying? I don't know if the one you saw. Does it have where it's like freezes and says body shot? It's almost like commentating it. Is that the same one you saw?
That's the one I saw. It was super
Yeah, that's
fucking
fucking
annoying.
annoying because that's what I do in my breakdowns. But I'm like, we don't need like just play the video, let other people. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. But that kind of annoyed me because it was like clearly somebody that was for Mason. Like every time something would land, they'd freeze it. Like body shot, good defense. It's like okay, um, but okay. What up, Dwayne? Yeah, man. I guess I'll look into the podcast thing. Yeah, I'm just trying to see how to really keep building kind of in a fresh way, in a way that'll kind of for like the younger generation as well.
Well, I'll this is maybe the final point I'll leave you with. And forgive me if this sounds coarse, but I just mean to be very straightforward
No
and
problem.
be
No
very
problem.
clear with what I
Don't worry
want to
about it.
say. So, I'll give you an example. Let's say TBV never existed. You
Hmm.
have your community and your platform and your little podcast, right?
Hmm.
And you have your, 20, 30, 40, 50 people that you'll see come in here. If something like what happened with Spider Rico happened in this community, do
Hmm.
you think the community would have handled it and reacted the same way they're reacting and handling it?
I do, but there's so much less of us. So that's the difference. I do. I think all of it, like, let's say one of us passed, right? One of you guys passed. I don't want to name any names because it's too morbid, but I think we'd all be the same way. But it's the difference is there'd be 30 to 50 of us maybe as opposed to thousands.
Right. So when you think about community building, think about that. Like how would you want as a streamer or whatever, or content creator, podcaster, one of your goals should be to think, okay, if something like that happened, I want to build a community that would react that way. Because let's be real, the community that acts that way is a community that's gonna fucking get your back, and like look at fucking with Ness, bro. Like that's why he does all that shit. Like, oh, appreciation night, we're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
belts, border wars, all that shit. All that
Mm-hmm.
shit is community built. It's not, like what is it, content built.
Mm. Okay. So what's the point? I think I'm missing it. What's your point
So
in that?
my point is, like, there's a community building aspect that the TBV offers, because any person can, any douchebag can have a show where it's literally nothing but call-ins. Like, if there's no call-ins, there's no show, and
Right.
people don't come in because of that. They
Right.
come in, for the tag headlines and all that other shit, but they stay for the community.
So how do I build? What else could I do to build the community? What are you saying?
That I'm not so sure about, man. But I
Okay.
think stuff like maybe something like a Discord or stuff like that, or like for instance, Johnny, he'll go, when he goes live, he'll go into the TBV Discord and he'll post, "Oh, I'm live. I have such and such thing. If Ness isn't live, why don't you join in?" And when he
Yeah,
does that, people go and they go that. But I'm
that's
not saying
smart.
you do that. But
No,
I'm saying, like,
I would feel too, and I'm not shitting on Johnny. I wouldn't. I
yeah,
would feel too like Moochie to do that.
no, definitely. But my point being, the reason why Johnny does that is because he doesn't have his own Discord. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
If he had
I
his
do,
own
but I
Discord,
don't know. I don't know shit. I don't even know how to use the fucking thing. Like I have it up. I don't even know what to. I guess I have to find out. Do you think it's that important to get the Discord going?
I mean, I think it could help, only because I see almost every other streamer, and big, little, or small, they all have something like that, because it's
Hmm.
like kind of like one of those key ingredients to successfully streaming.
So I
But I
like
don't
what
know. I'm not a successful streamer. I'm not exactly showbiz over here. I'm just giving
right.
you my 2 cents.
Right. No, no, and I really appreciate it. As always, I consider you one of the smartest members of the community. Maybe because you remind me of myself, I'm just being arrogant, but whatever. Uh, CJ Rich, appreciate you, big dog. I advise you to start doing shorts of your lives when someone has a great insight or brings something up controversial that generates interest. Right, that's what Nest does. More time invested, but solid content strategy. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, you could jump in. As you know, we do have Mo here for now. Anybody else wants to jump in? Shut up, Shane. We got to remove Shane out of the community. That'll be a good start. CJ, right? You should do shorts. Alberto's pause moments. Nah, see that's like shitting on people. I don't know. I mean, some of his pause moments are fucking hilarious though. Like, didn't he say something about like doesn't he have a nice mouth or so? Didn't he say something like that about De La Hoya? I think he said something about somebody having a nice mouth, like a nice succulent mouth. Some shit. Where I was like, what? Shorts was what took me back to TBV to edit. Okay. I mean, I have my shorts, but they're obviously not of this. They're of different things. Post your links to IG and YouTube in the Discord. Okay. Short of Alberto slurping moments. He's just openly slurping and burping now. Alberto be slurping and burping. Just whatever. The dude came in yesterday too, was like burping up a storm. What the fuck's his name? Black dude. I mean, I'm assuming he's black because he sounded black and he said the N word a few times, so I'm assuming. But and him and HLD were talking. What the fuck was his name? I forgot his name, but he was burping up like crazy. Nah, that was a dude. That's the other dude that was burping, not HLD himself. Oh, there's CJ. C Jeezy.
Yeah,
Jeezy.
that'll do for now. Well, we're gonna come up with something better than that. But what's up, Mo? What's up, Marco?
What up,
Uh,
Billy?
does it sound hella windy out here? I got headphones on, but
It's
again,
all
I'm in
good.
the park.
It's all good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the point I was making is and it would, like I said, take more time investment, but you have callers and you yourself have a lot of great insight and topics that could generate interest. It's about driving traffic to the channel. So taking a little bit of time, maybe an hour after you're live, if you can invest that. I know you got the family, but chop up, say, oh, that was a good moment. I remember when Mo said that or CJ said this, so I'm going to make a short of that. I've seen that work well for people.
Yeah, that'll engage more people to come in for this. Yeah, I guess my problem is I focus mostly on like my videos. I'm not putting the same kind of love into this, which I guess I need to do.
No, I understand, but to that point, yeah, use your Discord if you just want to start. I don't know too much about it either.
I
I'm
don't even
in
know
a
what it
couple
is.
Discords.
What is it?
It's just like a message board, like a forum, you know, from back in the day. I used to be like on hip hop forums, like all hip hop or sohh.com. But yeah, just a place for people to interact. But if you want to start using it, and I know you can do this, I would just say every time you drop something on IG or YouTube, just post the link in there. And then you probably get more familiar with it as time goes on. I'm figuring it out myself because, you know, I'm older too. So
yeah, the Discord. Okay, I'm gonna check. I wish I could get somebody who. I wish I could talk to somebody who knows it really well, who could just show me what to do.
Right.
I just need to be shown once, and I mean, I'm pretty computer savvy. There's so I go into that Discord. There's so many moving fucking parts. I'm like, what?
I know. I feel you.
What? What are you doing for the 4th?
Me? I'm about to go. You know, I'm running. Obviously, that's why. Once again in the park, but in a different park, and I'm about to go visit mom, and then coming back home and gonna fire up the grill. It's still early here, you know.
You have people coming over, just chilling dolo?
No, I got like, I don't know, 5 or 6 people coming through. So yeah, little function.
Christopher Joseph party. That's just what I'm
Hell nah. so off.
So way off, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe one day you could tell me privately one day. I'll keep it away from Alberta if you want. I'm just curious now what it is. Yeah, it's up to you.
Maybe.
Do people actually call you CJ? Or they call you by your actual name?
So anyone who met me before, in the first like half of my life, like up until I was 21, calls me CJ. My mom calls me CJ. All my old homies call me CJ.
Okay.
And then it became you almost got me to slip, but then it became something else.
Oh, but it's still not your real name. Whatever it is now, it's not your real name either.
What? Oh yeah, it is. It is.
Oh no, so they went from CJ to your real name. I got it.
Right. When I became an adult, I just started going by my real name.
I got it. Yeah, CJ. That's a cute name, like a mother would call her, a younger child.
Right.
That's cool. So I looked up this dude, Noakes. Pretty fucking impressive.
Who is he fighting again? I've been hearing his name circulating. He's fighting somebody.
Man.
Right. Okay, that's right.
Both. Yeah. Gotcha. Now Noakes did lose once, but knockout. Tough, great. He's kind of a mix between Hatton and Nick Wall, but not dirty. But he's like constantly coming on you. Coming on you. That sounded terrible. Coming at you with mad pressure. You know what I mean?
What's up,
Joshua?
Oh shit, Marco, what's up, man? What's
cracking?
Look, I just wanted to come on here and say, if anybody think Devin Haney winning that fight in November, you out your mind, folks.
Yeah,
you out your mind. There's no way from what we seen based on like what he do and what's been done to him, bro. There's no way he win that fight, bro.
So what happens? He gets knocked out.
Yeah, or just like he did against Ryan. Like he can take punches for sure. We see. So I feel like he can get beat up for 12, but it's either beat up for 12 or knocked out in like 8 or something, bro. Like I don't see how anybody can see Haney doing anything, bro. Can you see that?
I could see him possibly boxing and staying away. I mean, it's possible. No?
But okay. I see how you can see that, but do you see him getting out of this fight with a W from like the fans' perspective? So like, even if he scrape out the dub boxing, do you get a dub?
Let me hop in real quick. I'm gonna say yes because they would say you went in there with a killer. That's the perception right now, right? Based on what Norman just did, you went in there with a killer and you outboxed him. You did your style. He doesn't need to do what he did in the Ryan fight. Obviously, that was a bad game plan. So no, he needs to get back to being him. Obviously, not as cautious as he was in the Ramirez fight, but just get back to what he normally does. You feel me? Before the Ryan, before the Ramirez, just get back to being him. And we got a big body of work to base that on. So I think it's possible. I would say 65-35 Norman, but it's possible.
Okay, see, here's one thing we have to remember, right? Ryan, one of the main reasons why he caught Devin was the speed. Norman
Right.
doesn't have that speed, so it might be easier for Dev, who is twitchy defensively, to pick it off and stay away. So that's a big difference.
I feel what y'all saying. I think when they get in there and they stand in front of each other, I don't know.
See, you hear what you just said? Stand in front of each other. What makes you think Devin's going to stand in front anyway?
No, but I feel like the climate right now, you kind of got to, especially if you Devin, bro. Like in the eyes of Turkey Sheik, I feel like you got to stand right there and bang.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True. What up, Ryan? What up, J-Bone Capone?
You got to bang.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, but it's exciting. It's an exciting fight, you know.
I'll go farther than that, Marco, because I don't think Devin needs to do that, and I don't think he will do that. I think he's gonna get on his bicycle, and I think the Haney fan in me, I want Haney to run for his fucking life and just eke out a decision on a jab.
Or you
No, don't say that. I mean, you could have good footwork and manage distance and work behind your jab without running. I hate it has to be one or the other.
He's gonna no.
Either you're just brawling.
For his life.
There's no middle ground.
For his life.
Either you're just brawling or you're on the bicycle. I hate that narrative. There's a middle ground.
I don't. Well, that's the thing. No. But I just don't think his best chance of winning is to run for his life. And I'm being for real. Like I'm being honest. But my issue is that I think Norman is far more fleet-footed than these Haney that are really vocal online are making it. Is Marco muted?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, my bad. I was muted. Jesus. I was saying I muted CJ because the wind was off the hook. So you could unmute yourself, CJ, when you want to talk. Were you done talking, Mo?
Yeah. I just wanted to say that I think Norman is way more fleet-footed than people give him credit for.
I got you. Yeah, I could agree with that. But I don't think run for your life is the answer. That's not gonna get it done.
I mean, yeah, he has to run, but he has to punch. He can't just do a Charlo. Yes, actually, because against Ramirez, say what you want, he still punched enough to get a victory. Like he landed more than the other guy.
Do y'all think for this fight we got to see a Devin we never seen, or do y'all think that we're gonna see something like a Regis or a different performance?
Great question.
Regis, the Devin that showed up against Regis would be competitive, but it's a different fighter. But yeah, like that type of approach, man. He even displays some power moving up in weight. So
we're forgetting one thing, right? We're forgetting one major thing. How tall is Brian Norman?
That's why he's 5'8". He's 5'8", 5'9".
Oh, he's short. Yeah. That's why Johnny came in the chat, because he's like Beetlejuice. We said Brian Norman's name 3 times. He just appeared in a puff of smoke, like Dumbledore. But so the difference though is the size, right?
That is, and he also has a 72-inch reach.
Yeah, with Regis, it was a smaller dude. This guy's bigger, so like we don't know if he's. I don't know, man.
And Regis is Regis. We got to keep Regis where Regis is.
Right, but that was one of his best performances where he actually started dropping people, and so you know what I mean. We look at it like, can he do that? But
yeah, I think it's got to. We gonna see if Devin wins. He's gonna be a completely different. Whatever we see, we've never never seen before, bro. Whatever he does, if he wins,
you think that's Norman a totally different person?
Norman's reach is 7 inches longer than Prograis. That's
wow.
Big.
But how is it compared to Devin's?
He's 2 inches shorter than Devin's.
Wow, Devin has that much reach.
Damn,
that's crazy.
But reach.
He's a big dude. He cuts a lot of weight.
Does anybody know Ryan's reach off top?
I think he has short arms. But here's the thing about reach, guys, which people don't put into the calculation. Your height matters. So reach is just wingspan. But if you're taller, now you're adding that, because now you're adding that range, that extra 3-4 inches of distance. So to me, reach is a little deceptive. I calculate reach with height. You know what I'm saying? So like if two people have the same reach, but one dude is taller, he inherently is going to have more of a rangefinder, more reach. You know what I mean? Because he can move his waist out of the way and put it back easier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say you would have to incorporate the upper body movement into that, but no, that's a great point. I never thought about that.
It makes sense. So the height matters. Devin is damn near 5'10", 5'9". I've been around him. He's about an inch, maybe 2 inches shorter than me. And Norman is 5'8", they say. I don't know.
I'll give you another one. Jose Ramirez, who's the last guy that fought Haney, and he ran for his dear life. Jose Ramirez is 5'10" with a 72.5-inch reach. So that to me tells me that Devin Haney is getting ready to fight 100%, 1,000% the exact same way he fought Ramirez. And if I'm a Haney fan, that is exactly what I want, because that's his best chance of winning.
I don't know, man. I think that was an anomaly. Like, he was just playing it safe to preserve the Ryan rematch. And like I said before, he did his half. I don't think that's indicative of what he's going to do going forward. I could be wrong. We're going to find out. That's the beauty of boxing. We're going to find out.
We are going to find out.
For sure. Are y'all confident in this fight happening? Like, actually making it to the fight?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Why not?
Just a long way. That's it. It's just a very long way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about next week. All those fights. So I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to go there or not. Got to talk to wifey, but I'm excited about that. I want to see what Berlanga does. I really believe Berlanga is going to get outclassed.
Really?
Yeah. I think Sheeraz, his size, his reach, his length, I think is just going to be too much for Berlanga. I think Sheeraz is just going to kind of just box him for 12, 10, whatever, how many rounds it is. Yeah, I do. And Zepeda, I think, is going to get tapped up like a maple tree.
Sure.
Right? Nah, for real. Like, I think Zepeda's going to, I mean, Zepeda's face is going to be like a catcher's mitt. So, but it'll be a good win on if Shakur wins on his record. It'll be one of the wins where people can't really shit on him. Like, there's an undefeated knockout puncher.
Let's dive into that a little bit. How do you see it playing out? You see like Zepeda just doing his usual thing with volume and Shakur picking him off and like discouraging him, so maybe the volume drops off later on. How do you see that?
I see Shakur coming in, and as he's coming in, Zepeda coming in. As he's coming in, Shakur pop, and then when he gets close, Shakur doing his thing, moving out the way, and then getting out, and then fucking just backing up like hopping out of range. And then, but he doesn't run. He'll hop out of range and then he moves, but he throws shots while he moves.
Right.
Zepeda is very mechanical, very robotic, one-dimensional. He just comes in high guard, doesn't move his head, and then if he gets you in a corner or he gets you stationary, because some people could be stationary in the middle of the ring, he starts throwing punches. But Shakur is the kind of guy, I think, to beat him, you need to be able to land one bomb, because you're not going to land. Zepeda is a volume puncher. He stops dudes with accumulation, right? Shakur, it's hard to accumulate on him.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but who knows? I mean, has Shakur's body ever been checked?
I think it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be a dramatic fight, but something's gonna happen. But I think Shakur gonna get the dub, man. He gonna get the dub.
Right.
I don't think anybody ever gets close enough to Shakur to even get to his body. But I'll give that's a very astute observation, Marco, which is what we would expect from Zepeda from his past. Now, if I was in Zepeda's corner, if I was his coach, this is going to be controversial. I would go in there. I would tell him, look, you're outmatched. This is the best thing for you, for Zepeda and for his career. Go out there and do the De Los Santos Shakur. I want De Los Santos Shakur 2.0 is to make it the exact sort of boring, stinker, horrific fight Make him fight. Make him throw an offense. Just stand in front of him. Hey, if he doesn't want
Yo,
to throw anything and he wants to wait for you to come at him, don't give it to him because that's what he wants. Exactly what Marco
well,
said. That's what he wants. So don't fight his fight. Make it a horrible
Mo,
stinker and you'll probably lose. But at the end of the day, people are going to look at this fight and they're going to be like, see, Shakur's boring. Nobody wants this guy and take him down with you. But
Shakur
that's just me.
also frustrates people because he does this thing where he'll stay in the pocket and he utilizes waist movement, couple inches waist movement, and you're throwing and you're just missing. Because like those of you who've been in the ring, when somebody's right there, you're like, I'm definitely landing this punch. This dude's face is right there, and you throw and he just tilts a little bit and misses people. He doing that discourages a lot of his opponents to even one exchange like that. It's like a layer of frustration he adds.
no, I understand what you're saying, Marco. That is part of his defensive strategy that people overlook. They just think he keeps out of range with his feet. But no, great point. Mo, let me respond to what you said. Did that strategy that you're referring to, first of all, Shakur hurt his hands, so that's an anomaly of why he fought that way. But did that strategy you're talking about, did that raise De Los Santos stock? I don't think it did.
Well, what happened to De Los Santos after that? He got another title shot against Keyshawn. So apparently it didn't hurt his stock.
Fair enough.
I'll give you another
My
one.
bad, I
I'll
was
give you
muted.
another one, CJ. CJ. Now people are saying, "Oh, why doesn't De Los Santos? He should be fighting Abdullah Mason next for the title. His stock still didn't drop. Apparently."
Robert, if you think Zepeda, if you think Padley gave him problems, I think you might have been a little drunk. No, I mean, is it just me? Like, was Padley giving him problems?
Nah, he was just sturdy.
Fuck no.
Paddy he was sturdy.
Yeah.
Sturdy.
He stood in there and came to fight. Bro, I got to mute because the wind is crazy, like Marco said.
Yeah, he definitely didn't do anything amazing.
Yeah, nah. So like, I don't see. You don't think Shakur's a pocket fighter? He moves out of range so much, but he's very reasonable, responsible. No, he is a pocket fighter, Ryan. He can be. He definitely can be in the pocket. But he mixes pocket with and this isn't even. I'm not even trying to like make fun of him, but he's like a bunny rabbit. He hops out super quick and then comes back. So,
but Marco, he needs someone to come at him in order for him to do that. I'll give you a historical parable. And this is why that I have that opinion. Go watch Marvin Hagler's career. For 5 straight fights in his championship career, the orthodox opinion was, he's just a flat-footed, forward-coming fighter. The way you beat him is to put him on the back foot because he can't fight going backwards. And what did he do as a fucking great champion? Is why he's an all-time great. He learned to fight going backwards.
He could do everything.
Exactly, he could do everything. But when he fought, for instance, Roberto Duran, who's another great fighter, he was like, he's expecting me, the greatest inside forward-coming fighter of all time, to come straight at him. And you know what Duran did? He made it a stinker, and he was like, no, I know that this motherfucker, that I need to make him come to me. I need to make him be the initiator of the offense. Because he's expecting me to come straight at him. And what happened when he didn't do that? What happened? He started countering him. He started outboxing him. And then what happened toward the later rounds? Hagler was like, "Oh fuck, I can't. He's gonna beat me. I need to come straight at him." And he forced him to launch an offense because it was a boring fight. People were booing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that is the way to beat Shakur. You have to make it a boring fight. It's not nice, but that's the way to beat him.
Or you can be a bulldog. You can be a fucking bulldog, but you have to have exceptional power, right? And you have to have pretty decent foot speed to just overwhelm, Nick Ball, Ricky Hatton type shit. But you have to have the power. Because like I said, you're not hitting him with a combination, but you could land one here and there. And that one here and there, if it has the thump on it to hit him like a fistful of NyQuil, fight's over.
Yo,
Well, Marco,
that's the
there's only one
strategy. When you
fighter.
said Mo, when you said if you were his corner, you would tell him this strategy. What Marco just said is what I thought you were going with. Like you might have to, load up, and you're gonna get outboxed.
Rough them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, rough them
Yeah.
up. But we're gonna see. All right, look, guys. I hate to end this now, but it's I got to go to a fucking barbecue because it is the 4th of July. But appreciate you calling in, Joshua. Everybody, I'll be back on tonight. Let's pick this back up. You guys are dope.
Salute.
Peace.
Peace.